Imagine this. You're seated at your favorite Italian restaurant, the scent of garlic and tomato sauce dancing in the air. A steaming plate of spaghetti is gently set before you. Golden, perfectly al dente, and gleaming with a rich, savory sauce. Your mouth waters in anticipation. But have you ever stopped to wonder about the incredible journey those spaghetti noodles took to reach your plate? It all begins long ago in the bustling streets of ancient Rome. Spaghetti, derived from the Italian word spago, meaning string or twine, has a history as intertwined as the noodles themselves. While legend has it that Marco Polo brought pasta back from his travels to China in the 13th century, historical records reveal that the Romans had already been enjoying a form of pasta much earlier. Roman poet Horace even mentioned a dish similar to pasta in his writings, calling it lagana, a precursor to what we now know as lasagna. By the 12th century, spaghetti had made its way to Sicily, thanks to the Arab introduction of durum wheat, a grain that transformed pasta making forever. This innovation gave spaghetti its firm texture and distinctive golden hue. Fast forward to the 19th century, and Italian immigrants brought their beloved culinary traditions to the shores of America, where spaghetti quickly became a symbol of Italian-American cuisine. Local ingredients soon merged with the familiar flavors of home, giving birth to iconic dishes like spaghetti and meatballs. Noodles. It all begins with selecting the finest durum wheat, a hard variety known for its high protein and gluten content. This special type of wheat is the secret to the firm, chewy texture of spaghetti. Did you know that Italy alone produces around 4 million tons of durum wheat every year? Imagine standing in those golden fields, the wind softly rustling the tall stalks as farmers carefully choose only the best grains for harvest. These grains will eventually become the pasta we all love, but the journey has only just begun. Next comes the crucial step, milling the wheat. Once harvested, the wheat grains are cleaned to remove any impurities before being ground into semolina flour. This flour has a coarse, yellowish texture and is rich in gluten, making it ideal for pasta production. The milling process involves separating the wheat into its three main components: bran, germ, and endosperm. Here's a fun quiz. Do you know which part of the wheat is used to make semolina flour? Is it A, bran, B, germ, or C, endosperm? Hint, it's the part that gives pasta its delicious chewiness. If you guessed endosperm, you're right. Once the semolina flour is ready, it's time for the mixing and kneading process. Semolina is mixed with water to form a dough. This dough is then kneaded to develop the gluten network, which gives spaghetti its signature elasticity. For perfectly balanced pasta, the ideal mixing ratio is typically 3 parts semolina to 1 part water. In large pasta factories, machines handle this process with precision, ensuring consistency in every batch. Did you know that kneading can take up to 20 minutes? This step is crucial because it transforms the dough into a smooth, stretchy mixture, ready to be shaped into those familiar long strands of spaghetti. Now comes the truly magical part, extrusion. Have you ever noticed how spaghetti's texture holds onto sauce so well? This is where that happens. After being kneaded, the dough is forced through a die, a specially designed mold that shapes it into long, thin strands. As the dough flows out like a waterfall of pasta, it's mesmerizing to watch. The die itself can be made of either bronze or Teflon. Bronze dies give the spaghetti a rougher texture, which helps sauces cling better, while Teflon dies result in a smoother finish. Each creates a different eating experience, but both are equally delightful. As the dough is transformed into perfectly formed spaghetti strands, they're cut to the desired length with precision. Snip, snip, snip. It's almost like watching an artist at work, shaping each strand with care and purpose. Finally, we reach the drying and packaging stage. Once the spaghetti has been cut, it's time to reduce its moisture content to around 12%, a critical step that ensures the pasta will have a long shelf life. The drying process can take anywhere from 6 to 24 hours, depending on the temperature and humidity. This slow, methodical drying helps preserve the spaghetti's quality. The instant noodle factory in Korea is a symbol of modern technology, meticulousness, and advanced production processes, reflecting not only the culinary culture, but also the economic development of this country. Korean instant noodles, famous all over the world for their rich flavor and convenience, have become an indispensable part of many people's daily lives. The process begins with the selection of the main ingredient, high-quality wheat flour imported from reliable sources or produced domestically. The wheat flour is carefully inspected before being put into the production line. Then, the flour is mixed with water and other ingredients such as cooking oil and additives to form soft and smooth wheat flour. After being thoroughly kneaded, the dough will be passed through a rolling machine to form thin dough sheets. These dough sheets are then cut into thin and long noodles according to standard sizes. This is an important step because the thickness and length of the noodles will directly affect the taste and feeling when eating. After cutting, the noodles are steamed to retain their softness and chewiness. Depending on the type of instant noodles, the noodles will be fried in hot oil or dried. In the case of frying, the noodles are put into a large pot of oil at a high temperature to completely remove moisture and create a characteristic crispy texture. If the noodles are not fried, instant noodles that have not been fried in oil, the noodles will be dried using modern drying technology to ensure crispness and long-term preservation. One factor that makes Korean instant noodles different is the rich flavor. The seasoning packet usually includes spices such as chili, garlic, onion, meat powder, or seafood powder. Korean instant noodle factories often have carefully researched seasoning formulas to create a balance between spicy, sweet, salty, and sour, suitable for the user's taste. After the noodles are fried or dried and the seasoning packets are prepared, the noodles will be packaged. Factories use automatic packaging machines to ensure high speed and accuracy. Noodles are vacuum sealed or sealed to keep the noodles crispy and the spices from getting moldy during storage and transportation. Modern technology and environmental protection. Many instant noodle factories in Korea today not only focus on improving the production process to create delicious products, but also invest heavily in green, environmentally friendly technology. Factories use advanced waste treatment systems to minimize environmental pollution and use recycled materials in product packaging. The development of the Korean instant noodle industry. The instant noodle industry in Korea has grown strongly over the past decades, not only serving domestic demand, but also exporting to many countries around the world. Famous instant noodle brands such as Nongshim, Samyang, and Otoki have become familiar names in many countries, especially in Asia and the US. Korean instant noodles are not only a convenient fast food, but also considered a symbol of culinary culture, with the unique flavor of the kimchi land. Korean instant noodle factories are constantly improving technology and developing new products to meet the diverse needs of consumers, from spicy noodles, seafood noodles, to non-fried instant noodles. This has helped Korean instant noodles maintain their position as one of the most popular and favorite dishes worldwide.